What's up, teachers? Welcome back to my channel, the best place for language teachers looking for tips, ideas, recommendations for their lessons. Well, it's been a while and I know I look super different. I've been traveling a lot. That's actually one of the benefits of online teaching, because you can just take your laptop and go anywhere. But it's a new year, I'm still teaching and my students are still asking me for the same thing. They say they can read English, they can understand English, but they want to be able to speak English. And as the students want to speak, there are always language teachers looking for speaking activities. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 very simple speaking activities that don't require any preparation. And they can work both for online lessons and face-to-face lessons, because I know that some of you went back to classroom settings. How does it feel? Alright, so first one, it cannot get any easier for you as a teacher. You are going to choose 5 words, and they can be random words, or if you're working on a specific vocabulary, just choose words, that are kind of related to that vocabulary, and just give your students these words and ask them to create a story with these words included. So let's say, for example, my words are basketball, table, ghost, book, and air conditioning. So the student needs to come up with a story. Obviously, it's going to be a short one with all these words included there. So let's say, oh, the ghost was close to the air conditioning when I felt that, oh, I don't even remember the words anymore. So write them down, okay, show them to your student and ask them to come up with a creative, fun story. It is super simple, but students really like it because, first of all, they have to kind of go out of their comfort zone, because they were not expecting to be talking about those words, and it can be fun and you can end up with kind of very, very nice stories. And then, I don't know about your students, but most of my students, they have like an issue when making questions. So if we are using verb to be, if we are just asking simple questions such as, are you a teacher, are you cold, it's okay. But when we include, other structures, it's quite tricky for them to really make these questions in a proper way. So I do think it's super important, to work on questions, on how to make questions. So one of my favorite activities is that I'm going to choose a profession for myself, and it's better if you write it down, so you can really prove that that was the profession you were thinking. And you are just going to ask your student to ask you questions, so they just have to find out what you are. To add a fun element to it, I usually choose unusual professions. So let's say that I could be a professional cuddler. That's real, that's a thing, okay? Go and Google it. You can have a very good salary being a professional cuddler, believe me. Maybe a passenger pusher, so if they're from Asia, maybe they know what it's about because, in Japan, that's a common thing. Or you can be, what was the name? A bicycle fisher, that's very common in Holland. So it depends on where your student is, these professions are not going to be so unusual, but a nice thing is always to find something that is not the typical one. It's not an architect, it's not a teacher. Yeah, so just let them ask you questions, and you can even show them a photo of the profession if they don't know what you're talking about. You can even elaborate further and have a whole lesson about different professions. That's super interesting. And remember that these unusual topics catch the attention of the students, so your lesson is going to be engaging for sure. And the last one is a role play. So you're going to say, okay, so there's nothing different in a role play. And remember that I'm not talking about different activities. I'm talking about basic activities that don't require preparation. If you know how to add a fun element to your activities, they're always going to be very engaging. So you can just take something that is very basic, very common, and transform this into like, wow, the lesson of your life. So let's say that instead of having the very common role play, well, I'm going to be the customer, you are going to be, I don't know, a shop assistant, we are going to do this differently. So I'm going to be the mother, you are going to be the teenager, you want to go out, I'm not going to let you go out, because you've been naughty. So let's have an argument. Or I'm the girlfriend, you're the boyfriend, and you are just super jealous because I want to wear, a super, super tiny skirt. So we have to talk about it because I cannot allow you to treat me like that. So let's have an argument, a heated argument about it. So just take, these very common things and transform them and just make them special and just make them fun. Obviously, you have to help your student if they don't have enough vocabulary for this. And all these activities, you know, they can be adaptable, you know, so they are adaptable. You can just change the vocabulary or change the situation depending on the level. You can also do, if you are on a face-to-face setting, you can also do this in groups. So you are going to be the mother and you are going to be the boyfriend. If you are on an online private lesson, you are going to be one of the characters and your student is going to be another one. And that's it for today. So yeah, just remember, you don't have to be super incredibly creative and you don't have to spend like hours and hours lesson planning. You just have to try to add some, you know, nice elements to your already known activities, and they can be amazing. So I hope you missed me. I will try to upload videos more often from now on. And if you want to reach out to me, you can follow me on Instagram. So it's teacherlittlemary_, or well, just leave a comment and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Happy to see you guys. Happy teaching.